Ladies, gentlemen, and financial aficionados, I stand before you today to delve into the riveting pages of Timothy F. Geithner's Stress Test Reflections on Financial Crises. As your savvy and slightly cheeky guide, I present not just the top 10 insights, but a journey into the cataclysms of our economic fabric, embroidered by the charmingly self deprecating and hair graying adventures of a former U.S. Treasury Secretary. 1. Crisis Management, the Geithner Way. First up, the firefighter himself teaches us that crisis management is akin to juggling hand grenades, some with the pins still in. You quickly learn that smooth sailing is a myth in the financial seas. Our man Tim might not have the body of a Greek god or the crowd-pleasing magnetism of a rock star, but when the economic waves hit tsunami levels, he's the guy you want holding the lifeboat oar. The key lies in aggressive, early intervention. It's better to build an ark than wait for the floodwaters to recede. To Uncle Sam's tough love, insight number 2 is about pouring money into a sinking ship, or as the professionals call it, bailouts. Now, who loves bailouts? No one, except maybe the drowning financial institutions clutching them like life preservers. But here's the kicker. Geithner makes you realize sometimes loving the economy means offering tough love through rescuing the institutions we love to hate. Yes, it's like giving cough syrup. It tastes vile, but it just might stop the coughing fits. And 3, the art of the unpopular. If you want to be the prom king, don't run the treasury. Insight 3 is understanding the vital role of unpopular decisions. Guided by the notion that the right choice is often the one met with the most resistance, Tim showcases a masterclass in weathering public scorn. It's not about earning heart emojis on social media. It's about the unsexy, grit-filled push to do what's necessary, not what's adored by the masses. 4. Regulations, the financial seatbelt. Number 4 teaches us that without regulations, banking is just a high-stakes game of musical chairs set to heavy metal. Sure, jamming to Slayer while playing a children's game sounds fun until someone pulls the economic chair from under you. Geithner's mantra? Regulate, but don't suffocate. Like a seatbelt, regulations should be tight enough to save you in a crash, but not so tight that you can't breathe while driving. 5. The Prophet of Doom's Dilemma. Moving on to our 5th insight, Geithner highlights the eternal struggle of the Prophet of Doom. Sound the alarm and risk being labeled a lunatic, or stay silent and potentially watch the world burn. This catch-22 had our author often fighting the airbag before the crash. If you cry wolf about a financial hurricane and it turns to a breeze, your credibility is as good as a chocolate teapot. 6. Financial markets have feelings too. Who knew? Insight 6 reveals that markets are like moody teenagers. They overreact, sulk, and occasionally slam doors. Markets run on confidence or sheer, unadulterated panic. In trying to navigate these fluctuating moods, Geithner becomes the bewildered parent, coaxing stability with a mix of stern talks, economic grounding, and increased allowances, also known as quantitative easing. 7. The global butterfly effect. Number 7 is about interconnectedness. When the U.S. sneezes, the world catches a cold, or in the case of the financial crisis, pneumonia. Our actions reverberate around the globe. Geithner pivots like an Olympic gymnast to coordinate with other countries, proving that when it comes to economics, no country is an island, except, ironically, countries that are literally islands. 8. The fog of economic war. The fog of war isn't just a military term, it's Finance 101, as per our 8th insight. Decisions often have to be made with incomplete information. You might have a map, but it's unreadable in the dark while someone is throwing darts at your compass. Geithner often found himself operating in the realm of the lesser evil, picking the path sprinkled with fewer landmines. 9. Hero or villain. On to our 9th insight, which teaches us that public perception is a roulette wheel, and hell hath no fury like a taxpayer scorned. Geithner donned the villain's cape as often as he did the hero's armor, and the social commentary swung with the grace of a drunken trapeze artist. Whether he's throwing lifelines to banks or tightening Wall Street's leash, Geithner reminds us that history's authors are fickle, and the pen is mightier than the spreadsheet. 10. The discipline dance. And now, to complete our top 10, we learn of the moral hazard tango. Bailouts can't be like parental indulgence. There must be discipline, lest the spoiled brats of Wall Street throw another risky party. Geithner walks this line between rescuer and disciplinarian, ensuring that the word consequences isn't lost in the financial dictionary. As we close the book on these insights, let's recap. Timothy F. Geithner's Stress Test is not just a memoir. It's a blueprint, a warning, and a candid expose of what happens when Wall Street has a meltdown. It's about being the adult in the room when everyone else is either yelling fire or ironically setting one. It's important to note that our protagonist doesn't claim to have all the answers or to have made all the right moves. The book is less of a self-congratulatory pat on the back and more of an honest shrug of, well, we tried our best. And sometimes, in the great casino of financial systems, that rueful attempt is the best throw of the dice you have. In this brilliantly recounted saga, you walk away with a mix of terror, awe, and a newfound appreciation for the tightrope act that is economic governance. It's a story of tight corners, tough calls, and the uncomfortable reality that every fiscal policy is a band-aid on a bullet wound. So take a bow, Mr. Geithner. Through your reflections, we get more than just an important financial lesson. We get a masterful tale woven with the threads of political power, public opinion, and the delicate human psyche that governs it all. Now go forth, mighty economists and casual enthusiasts, bandage your stress-induced ulcers and arm yourself with these insights. For the financial storm clouds are forever on the horizon, and thanks to Stress Test, you may have just the toolkit to weather them. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our witty waltz through economic crises. Remember, stay solvent, hedge your bets, and for heaven's sake, keep those stress tests coming.